In today's video, we're going to take a look at the Chase Amazon Prime Rewards Visa credit card, this one right here. And with more and more people shopping online and with Amazon Prime continuing to dominate the online marketplace, it's a popular card for many people. So in this video, we're going to take a look and see if this card is right for you and also if it still makes sense to get this card in 2024. Now, before we dive in, when it comes to Chase's Amazon cards, there's two main ones that they have. One is the Prime card and then the other is the Amazon card. Now, the difference between the two is very minimal. The only main difference is actually the rewards, and the difference is that the Prime card offers a higher rate of rewards, and it's easy to tell because it's called the Prime card, and in order to get it, you need to be a Prime member, and then you get rewarded just like Amazon rewards you for being a Prime member. So in this video, we're going to focus just on the Prime card because if you have a Prime membership, which millions of people in America already do, then the Prime is a no-brainer. It doesn't even make sense to look at the Amazon card. So in this video, we're going to focus just on the Prime card. So first, we're going to go through, is this card right for you? Is it one that you should put in your wallet? And why is it a no-brainer for everyone watching today? Now, the first reason is that there's no annual fee, especially for the Prime card and if you are a Prime member, and there's 50% of the US population has a Prime membership. So if you don't have this card, you're not taking advantage of it, you're basically leaving free money on the table. And if you are a Prime member and you want to take advantage of this card, you don't want to pay an annual fee, this makes it a no-brainer. The second reason is the sign-up bonus. So currently, if you get the Prime card, there is a $100 gift card that you can use towards Amazon purchases, and there's no minimum amount that you have to spend. In fact, the minute you apply and get approved, I think you get the gift card like right away and it shows up on your Amazon account. Sometimes there's a code, but usually it just shows up directly, and that's free money. You don't have to spend anything to get it, and with the no annual fee, they're basically giving you $100 to get this card. Now, sometimes I have seen the sign-up bonus being as high as $200, especially if it's like a holiday or like Prime Day or during the holidays coming up. I feel like they probably will bring that sign-up bonus back, but they're essentially giving you money to get this card. So another reason why it makes it a no-brainer. And if you're a Prime member, that $100 basically covers almost 75% of the membership. So it basically discounts your Prime membership for a year, which is a great benefit. The third reason that you should get this card is the rewards. So you get 5% back on Amazon, Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh, and any Chase travel purchases. You get 2% back on restaurants, gas stations, and local transit. And then you get 1% back on everything else. And that 5%, well, I'm saying it so like calmly and not being really excited about it, but 5% back is actually incredible. It's really hard to get a cashback card that gives you that amount, and it actually beats out most travel cards as well. So let's say you have a travel rewards card that gives you 2x the points on Amazon purchases, for example. Now, even then, you would have to optimize that 2x points quite a bit to get to the same value as 5% back. So that again makes this card a no-brainer because of how easy it is to use, especially if you're a beginner to credit card rewards, whether that's cashback or travel rewards. Getting 5% back on your purchases is a huge win. So again, this is another reason that 5% is an incredible amount and makes it a no-brainer. And especially if you're an Amazon user, like there's no reason why you should not have this card. The fourth benefit is, now this is gonna be more specific to individual people, but because it's a Chase card and because it's one of their signature series, if you already have a credit card with Chase that's already a high limit, let's say $20,000 on another Chase card, if you apply for this, there's a very high chance, as long as your credit score is good, that you will get $20,000 as well. That's what happened with us. We had a Chase card that had a really high limit, and then when we applied for this, they basically gave us over $20,000 credit limit as well, which is a great way to continuously increasing your available credit, which helps your credit utilization, and then in the long run helps your credit score as well. So another huge win. And then as a signature Visa card, you do get the traditional perks that you do get with other credit cards with Chase, like the concierge service, you get the travel and purchase protection, the extended warranties, and while it's nothing special specific to the Prime card, it is still nice to continue to have those benefits. And also the card it looks really nice too. It's kind of blue. You can kind of see that there. It's blue. It has a good feel to it. It's not plastic, but it's not like metal either. So it's kind of like I believe it's like metal inside, which kind of gives it a nice feel. It's not as plasticky. So it does have like more of that premium feel, especially for a $0 annual fee card. It's a really nice feeling card and looking card too. So now that you've got these cashback rewards, what's the best way to redeem them? My favorite way is just to redeem them through Amazon, so you can get 5% off your purchases or save it up for a future purchase, which is really nice. Let's say you've spent like $10,000 over the past year, you probably have about $500 in rewards, which is a nice way to spend on whether it's extra purchases that you need to make or for gifts for the holiday seasons. I think it's a great way to just have extra cash, or you can just use it to offset your everyday purchases, and now you've got deflation. We hear so much about inflation, but with 5% back, you're basically getting deflation, which is a nice win for a lot of people. And in fact, that's what we did. So since we just bought a home, we were buying a lot of things to like furnish it, and also we're Airbnb one of the units in the home, so there's a lot of furniture we're getting for that, whether it's like a TV, we got some furniture, kitchen supplies, cleaning supplies, all of that through Amazon. And because of this card, we were able to get 5% cash back, which is really great because you get some extra money in your pocket and it makes things cheaper, especially if you're setting up a Airbnb, and less money out of pocket is always great. So who shouldn't get this card? One is if you already have a credit card that's giving you a good multiplier on online purchases like Amazon, then you don't necessarily need to get this card to get the cash back. One that comes to mind for me is like, let's say you've got the American Express Gold card that gives you 4x points on groceries. You can use that on at Whole Foods or Amazon Fresh. Now it's not as good as 5%, but the 4x is pretty good, especially if you optimize it. It gets worth like maybe 6 or 7 cents per point. You know, the only downside is it doesn't work on Amazon, so you won't get your Amazon purchases at 4x, but there's a bunch of cards that will give you 2 to 3x on rotating categories, and sometimes that will include Amazon, so you're still getting something. So if you already have a good setup, you don't need Amazon points, you're not too concerned about the cash back, then I wouldn't worry about this card. And then the other person who shouldn't get this card is if you just don't spend on Amazon. I would think that you would need to spend at least a couple $100s a month through Amazon to make it worth. So whether that you're getting cleaning supplies, you're renovating and you're getting things for your house. And Amazon nowadays is so great. You can get Apple products if you're looking for a new iPhone or laptop, if you're looking to get a camera, and if you're getting 5% back on all those purchases, it is a pretty sweet deal. Like all of my equipment for this YouTube setup, like my light, my mic, all of that, like the stand, all of that was from Amazon. So I got 5% back, which is a couple of dollars, which is nice. It pays for a couple of coffees and I can't complain. So it's definitely a win. Now, another thing I want to point out is like, let's say you do have like an optimized setup that's giving you a lot of points. Now, let's say all these purchases are going to give you 20,000 points and you're going to use them for something eventually. But if you don't have anything planned, like you don't have a trip that you're saving up for or a redemption that you're looking to really make, then in that case, like it doesn't always make sense to save points. Like let's say you don't have anything planned for the next year or two and you definitely know you're not going to be traveling. Like someone like me, I know I'm not going to be flying for the next 1 to 2 years just because of things happening in life and like my plans and other priorities. So in that situation, a cashback card really makes sense because you're getting cash today and you're not worried about collecting all these points that then might lose value, like the credit card company or the airline might devalue them. Or like, what if you're just collecting all these Chase points and then 2 years later, you're like, I really want to take this trip, but Chase isn't a transfer partner and now those points are pretty much useless. So if you were getting cash back throughout that whole time, then at least you're still getting value, some value for using credit cards. So in that case, even if you do have a more optimized setup, a cashback card can make a lot of sense. And the Amazon cards are a great option. If you're getting 5% back on your Amazon purchases, like I think that is a huge win. And then when you do have a trip planned, like okay, in 2025 or 2026, I'm going to this country or this city and I'm taking this airline and I want to fly business class or first class and I need this specific credit card to get there, then get that card and start collecting on those points. But otherwise, if you don't know what you're saving up for, just take the cash back. Take what you can today, because if you go with a different credit card program, who knows what that's going to be worth in a year or two, especially if you don't have goals to use them. Second person who shouldn't be applying for this card is if you've got a low credit score, you may not get approved for this card, especially because it is a signature series and it is one with a higher credit limit or the option for a higher credit limit. So that is a possibility where you might not get approved. And then the second is you got to keep in mind for Chase's 524 rules. So if you've already applied for a bunch of credit cards over the last 24 months, you could get denied if this is like your 6th card. But also if you're looking at other Chase cards that you might want to get in the next couple of months, then keep that in mind as well, because if you do get this, that could prevent you from getting that one in the future. And especially if you know you have a trip that you will potentially want to take in the next year or so, and you know that you want to get a Chase card to get the points for it, I would probably hold off just to make sure that you don't get capped by that 524 rule. All right, so that was the Chase Prime Visa credit card. It's a mouthful to say, but I hope you learned more about this credit card and saw if it was right for you. Let me know in the comments below if you're interested in getting it or if you are going to get one. And in the meantime, check out one of these videos on personal finance next.